If you're just getting into airbrushing, then you might be a little bit worried about overspray getting everywhere. I know I was, so I went out and bought a face mask and an airbrush spray booth when I got my first airbrush kit. In this video, I'm gonna have a look at that airbrush spray booth and see how well it works. I'm gonna test it out with some incense smoke to see how well it sucks it in and filters out the smoke, and overall give you guys my impressions of it. I'm Dave, let's get cracking. All right, so let's have a look at this spray booth. It's pretty compact. Everything that you need for it is contained within the booth itself. So in the side is a little door which has the power supply, and then you can open up the main flap, and inside is the turntable and the lights. And then as you lay out the flap and fold up the sides, those sides clip into the lid, and that makes the body of the spray booth. All you have to do then is put the turntable in, and then the lights clip into little connectors that are a bit hard to see, but they're just underneath the lid of the spray booth. And then all you have to do is plug in the power supply and it is set up. So I find it pretty convenient because it packs away really small and it's not too hard to set up. All right, now we're gonna have a look at the lights. So there's at least two versions of the spray booth. There's one with the lights and one without the lights. The lights wrap around in a U shape around the top of the booth, and they are subjectively pretty bright. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm turning the lights on and off, and it's a huge difference. So I'm happy to airbrush with just the booth lights, as long as I put my Mini in far enough, which I think is good. It means you have to have your Mini fairly well into the booth. The other thing is the lid of the booth blocks my normal painting light a bit. So without the lights inside the booth, it would actually be a bit shaded. So I'm really glad I got the version with the lights. Okay, so now I'm gonna test it with some incense. So the first test I'm doing, I'm holding the incense basically level with the outer edge. So when I turn it on, you can see the smoke is pulled into the booth and into the filter, which is great. I was a bit nervous. I didn't know if it was actually gonna work. So it's being pulled in, but it's not like being pulled in really strongly. So now I'm gonna test it with the incense basically level with the upper lip. So that's about 10 centimeters into the booth. And when I turn it on this time, the smoke is being pulled into the filter of the booth much more strongly. You can see it gets pulled in directly without sort of wafting around at all. As I put the incense further into the booth, that suction is just stronger and stronger. As I'm moving it in and out, you can sort of see that once you get beyond the sort of outer lip of the booth, the suction sort of goes away. But it's good to see that it actually does work and it does pull the smoke through the filter. Now I'm gonna look and try and figure out how well the filter works. So I'm gonna set up some incense to burn inside the booth and make sure that all the smoke is going directly into that filter. And then I'm going to come around the side of the booth and see what is coming out the back. As I come around the back of the spray booth, I can't see any of that incense smoke coming out the exhaust port. So that's great. Really pleased that the filter actually seems to be doing its job. All right, so I'm actually really happy with this spray booth. It folds out really well. It's nicely self-contained. It packs away small, which is great in my small apartment. And it actually sucks in all the smoke. So I think that'll suck in all the airbrush overspray, which I'm really happy about. And the filter seems to work. Can't see any smoke coming out the back of it. I think it's like a pretty good product. It does cost a bit of money, so I'm glad it actually seems to do the job. And if you're like me and live in a very small apartment, then I think this could definitely be worth your while because it can keep everything contained within the booth. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I do lots of videos like this. Cheers, thanks for watching.